join me with a video as we can do yoga wherever we go, in our homes, wherever we are. So I invite us to find a comfortable spot in our houses or wherever we are, and to just I'm so very glad you could join me this morning as I do a video from my living room. And so I apologize if Pandora ads come on. I had to use my TV instead of the music on my phone. And so if an ad comes on again, I apologize. I invite us to find a comfortable spot in our house where we can be limited with distractions, and we can practice some yoga. I've been talking about in our classes a podcast series that I've been listening to, and the podcast series is called Wisdom of Sages. And the one that I'm focusing on this week is about what is yoga. And there's all kinds of different forms of yoga, but true yoga is really to discipline our mind and our body. It's the union of our mind and body. And so in these stressful, challenging, fearful, worrisome times, the more we practice yoga and the more we stay with a normal practice, the more we can discipline our mind and body to stay calm. And I just really love what yoga does, and I invite us to just start wherever we are. It doesn't matter if we've been practicing for a long time or if it's our first time. We just start, and I hope that we can make it a routine in our lives, especially right now. So in yoga, we breathe by breathing in through our nose and out through our nose. So I invite us to just breathe in through our nose, feeling our breath, and breathing out through our nose. And we're just going to breathe for about 2 minutes before we start our practice. We continue to breathe in through our nose, feeling our abdominal, letting it rise, and then letting it fall. And we breathe life energy to all the cells in our body. As we breathe these big pranayama breaths, we try and just stay with our breath, with our mind. So as we breathe in, we feel it, we absorb it. And as we exhale, we let it go and we soften ourselves. As we continue to breathe deep, we try and bring our mind to stay with our breath and stay with our movements. If thoughts come in our head, we try not to judge them, but we just let them go and then re-find our breath. In yoga, we can adapt any posture that doesn't feel right for us. I'm 7 months pregnant, so I will be adapting some things, some spinal twists and whatnot. So whatever feels right for ourselves, we just do that, and then we try not to judge ourselves. We just take care of ourselves right here, right now, today. In yoga, we try to figure out, what does my body need? So we just continue to breathe deep here, breathing in through our nose, letting our heart start to sing out. And we exhale by softening our bodies. As we move through our practice today, we try and let go of judgments of ourselves and competition and expectations. We're just here today, right here, right now. Let's set our intention today. What do we want to get out of being on our mats? Do we want peace, or love, or comfort, or to reconnect, or strength and flexibility? Whatever it is, let's breathe that right down into our heart center. Breathe as deep as we can, letting the stress and tension go from our bodies. Let's do a few more big, deep breaths before we come to all fours. So let's come to all fours on our mats. And we're going to widen our fingers, grounding our knees. And then with our inhales, let's round our backs up into scared cat. And with our exhales, we round down into cow. And we inhale, rounding up. And we exhale, rounding down. And we continue to have big breaths. And we just feel and notice our bodies. We inhale fresh energy as we fill our abdomens. And as we exhale, we soften and let go. And when it feels right for us, let's curl our toes under. Let's push our hips up into downward dog. And if downward dog doesn't feel right for us today, we can keep our knees down, or else we can sit in a chair. If we're in downward dog, we pull our heels down towards our mat and we let our heads just hang. Let's do a few big deep breaths here. Inhaling fresh energy and exhaling by softening and letting go. Let's lower our legs to our mats, coming down into upward dog, reaching our heads up towards the ceiling, opening our heart centers and inhaling fresh new energy, and exhale by softening and letting go. Let's bring our knees to our mats. We're going to reach our hips back towards our heels into puppy, allowing our heads to just fall and drop where they want to fall. When it feels right for us, we make our way back up into downward dog. And we're going to do these 3 postures with our own breath work, our own asana, flowing from one posture to the next. Downward dog to upward dog. Inhaling and exhaling into puppy. Feeling our body, letting go of our judgments of ourselves, our stress, and just breathing and moving. We go at our own pace, and we do what feels right for us. Inhaling big breaths and softening and letting go as we exhale. We continue to move through these 3 postures, going at our own asana. We'll do one more full cycle and end in downward dog. When our mind starts to wander, we become aware of it and we bring it back to our breath, back to our movement. While we're in downward dog, let's pull our heels even farther down to our mat. Inhaling big breaths and softening and letting go as we exhale. Let's step forward with our right foot, stepping forward with our left foot, and we'll release our head down into forward fold. Inhaling big breaths and exhale by softening and letting go. Let's slowly round up by stacking our vertebrae one on top of each other. Breathing big breaths and just feeling and noticing our own energy. And once we're standing tall, let's have our head parallel with our ceiling. Our arms can come down by our sides. And let's inhale, reaching up with our hands, placing our fingertips together. And let's exhale, bringing our thumbs past our head, past our heart center. Inhale, reaching up. Exhale, bringing our thumbs past our head and heart center. This is a cloud salutation. In yoga, we honor ourselves, we honor all beings, and We honor things in our universe like the clouds and the sun. As we honor them, we're giving thanks for exactly what they are. We inhale, reaching our hands up, and we exhale, bringing our thumbs down to our heart center. On our next inhale, we reach our fingers up. On our next exhale, let's bring our left leg up towards our hand, releasing them together. Inhale, reaching our hands up. Exhale, bringing our knee towards our hands. If we can only lift our foot a little bit off of the floor, it's okay. This takes a lot of concentration. We can gaze at something on our floor, or we can close our eyes. It's whatever feels right for us. We continue to breathe big breaths, filling ourselves with life energy, and exhale, letting go. Let's do one more on each leg. And we'll end with a few arm movements. Inhale, reaching up. Exhale, bringing our hands down to our heart center and releasing them. And we'll finish by bringing our thumbs right down to our heart center. Let's do a few big pranayama breaths here, allowing our abdomen to fill with air as much as it can. And exhale, pulling our belly button back to our spine. I invite us to honestly feel ourselves. Do we feel more connected with ourselves than before we came to our mat? Let's do a couple more big breaths before we start our sun salutation. As we move into our sun salutation is a series of 12 poses. We can modify anything that we need to. If our lunge, when we come into it, is a high lunge, we do a high lunge. If we can go down and do a low lunge, we do a low lunge. It's whatever feels right for us. Let's start by bringing our fingers to our heart center again, and let's inhale, big fresh breath. Let our hearts sing out. Inhaling, reaching our hands up towards the ceiling, and exhale into waterfall. Again, we open our heart centers. Inhale, reaching our hands up. We're going to softly swan dive down to our mats in a forward fold. Let's step back with our right foot, grounding where it feels comfortable, and then inhale, reaching out with our right hand, up and over as we hold in a warrior lunge. Inhaling our hands to our mats, stepping back with our left foot, holding in plank. We need to drop our knees down. We gently put our knees down. Inhaling a big fresh breath. And exhale by lowering to crocodile. Inhaling, straightening our arms, reaching our heads up into upward dog, and opening our heart centers by inhaling fresh breath and exhaling by softening and letting go. Bringing our hips up towards the ceiling in downward dog as we feel our feet. Notice our hands. Inhale, fresh breath. And exhale by softening. Let's step our right foot forward, coming into a lunge, then reaching out with our left hand, letting our hearts open and breathe. Inhale our hands to our mats. Step forward with our left foot and release our heads in forward fold. Let's slowly stand tall, reaching our hands up towards the ceiling. We're going to bring our hands up over our head, placing them together. Find our breath here. And then on our own big exhale, we bring our thumbs down to our heart centers. Nice job. We're going to do the same thing on the left side. We'll do a little bit faster paced. Inhale, reaching our hands up. Exhale into a waterfall. Inhale, reaching our hands up. Exhale by softly swan diving down to our mats in forward fold. We'll step back with our left foot, coming into a warrior lunge, and then inhale, reaching out with our left hand, grounding our right, and pulling our fingertips up towards the ceiling. Let's bring our hands to our mat, stepping our right foot back onto our mat into plank. Finding our breath here, and on our own exhale, exhaling down into crocodile. Inhaling up to upward dog and softening on our exhale. Inhale, reaching our hips up into downward dog, feeling and noticing our feet. Let's step our left foot forward and then reach out with our right hand up and over, and we ground our left hand. Let's bring our hands back to our mat. We'll step forward with our right foot, release our heads in forward fold. Inhale, fresh breath. And exhale by softening and letting go. And we'll slowly stand tall, reaching our hands up towards the ceiling, feeling and noticing the air. And then on our own exhale, fall back into waterfall. Inhaling, standing exhaling our thumbs to our heart centers. Let's just find and notice our breath here as we continue to breathe big pranayama breaths, allowing our abdomens to rise and fall. Letting the stress just release from our bodies. Let's release our hands down. We're going to do some swinging with our arms, as this is really good for our immune system. It balances out our digestive system. So we just feel and notice our arms. We let our heels come up. There's no right or wrong way. We just do what feels right for ourselves. And breathe and discipline our minds to just stay with our breath. Stay with our movements. And we'll just slowly let our arms slow down as they come down to our sides. And let's re-ground our feet, widen our toes. Let's inhale, reaching up with our hands. We're going to do breath of joy, so we fall back into waterfall. We exhale big by bending our legs, letting our arms swing down by our sides. And we inhale, reaching up. Exhale, letting go. Inhale, reaching up. Exhale, letting go. If a deep bend in our legs feels right for us, we do a deep bend. If just bending our legs a little feels right, we just bend a little. We do what our bodies can do, and we give thanks to our bodies for that. We'll do a couple more. Good. And we'll reach our hands back up, inhaling and allowing our abdomens to just fill with air. And we exhale by softening and letting go. Let's allow our arms to just come down by our sides as we start our warrior poses. So if we can do a deep warrior lunge, that's great. And if we can't, we just do what we can do. So let's start by coming to the front of our mats, the top of our mats it's called. And we're going to step back with our right foot, either into a high lunge, or if we can, we go into a low lunge. This is our challenging part of our practice today. So we breathe through the stress and tension in our legs. We reach up with our arms. We can either allow our hands to stay apart, or we bring them together. Let's pivot our back leg, allowing our hands to just release and come apart as we just gaze right over and softening with strength. Let's bring our right arm to the small of our back, reaching over with our left. Let's straighten our left leg, sliding our left hand down our left leg and reaching up with our right. We'll bring our hands to our mat, allowing our right foot to pivot, and we're just going to transfer our weight right up onto our left leg. We're going to bring our right foot back behind us, either by bringing our toes to our mat on our right foot, or else reaching our right foot back behind us into balancing half moon. Bring our hands back to our mat, bringing our right foot right next to our left foot, and let's release and forward fold. Let's slowly stand tall, reaching our heads up, allowing our arms to just come right by our sides. We feel and notice our feet, and then we'll step back with our left foot, coming into whatever lunge feels right for us on our right side. We reach our hands up and we breathe. We just accept what we're doing right here, right now, as we discipline our minds to stay with our practice. Let's bring our hands together, arching back with our hands. Let's bring our left hand to the small of our back, continuing to reach up with our right. And we'll pivot our back foot, reaching our hands away, inhaling big breaths, and exhale by letting go. We'll straighten our right leg, slide our right hand right down our right leg and reach up with our left. We only slide our hand down where it wants to go. Maybe it's just to our knee. Maybe it's all the way to our ankle or our foot. Or maybe it's to our mat. We're going to bring our hands towards our mat, bringing our weight up onto our right foot, either by bringing our left foot back behind and grounding our toes, or else we can reach our left foot up into balancing half moon. We'll bring our foot drop our hips right in between our feet as we come to a sitting position on our mats. We're going to rest on our tailbones, bringing our feet out in front of us, and then lifting our feet up, bringing our arms just right by the sides of our legs. And if we can, we reach our feet straight up in front of us. If we can't, we just keep our feet a little bit off of our mats. But if we can, we're strong. We're able to do this. And let's slowly lower our legs down to our mats. We're going to slowly lower our upper bodies down to our mats. And as we're laying here, we're just going to feel and notice our bodies, allowing our belly buttons to rise and fall. Let's bring our feet together in butterfly and release our knees out to the sides. Let's bring our knees back together, walking our feet to the sides of our mat, and just allowing our knees to fall towards each other. We continue to let our abdomen rise and fall as we breathe in fresh new energy. And we exhale by just softening ourselves onto our mats. And let's bring our feet straight up from our hips as they reach up towards the ceiling. If we can, we lift our hips off of our mats by placing our hands in the small of our backs. And if that doesn't feel right, we just keep our hips down. We continue to breathe deep. Let's just bring our legs back to our mat slowly. Laying our legs flat and coming into whatever position is going to feel right for us to end our practice with a period of meditation. Let's relax our face muscles. just continue to breathe deep by inhaling through our nose and exhale, softening and letting go. I apologize for that ad. I'll read our meditation. I came to yoga for the cross-training benefits, but after a while, a few classes turned into more. I didn't see the effects right away, but then, all of a sudden, I was doing things that I could never do before. I am much more in tune with my body. Yoga makes me feel better mentally. I feel calmer, and I can really let things go. Now I'm finding that I want more. I'm taking every move deeper. I'm wanting to hold the postures more deeper, and I want to understand more about yoga, said Vicky, a yoga student. The asana awaken a momentum in our lives, and that momentum is tapas. Vicky's experience is quite common. Most students, adequately taught, attend a few classes and soon find themselves drawn back for more. A part of tapas is out of our control. By practicing asana, we are awakening our life force, and an aspect of that energy is tapas. But the other part of tapas is entirely up to us. Vicky realizes that as she does not act on the impulse toward taking care of her health that is now alive in her, nothing more will come of it. She will have been given a glimpse of another life and sat back instead of taking care of herself. Tapas, our life energy, is also the will to realize the opportunity that is yoga, to make it real for us, to make it stick, to help us discipline our minds to a better state where we can always find our breath. I invite us to roll onto our right side. Feeling and noticing our right side. And then we just gently push ourselves up to come to a position where we're sitting. And we do some big pranayama breaths, knowing that we took care of our health today, allowing our abdomen to rise and fall. And I invite us to repeat this mantra, either mentally or out loud. I am peace. I am love. I am light. I am peace. I am love. I am light. I invite us to use that mantra throughout our day. When we start to get agitated or struggle or fearful, we can always just repeat a mantra in our head, and it'll connect us back to ourselves. We can connect back to ourselves. We can be peaceful. Let's honor ourselves, each other, and our practice. Let's bring our hands to our heart center, breathing deep. May all beings everywhere be happy and free. Namaste. I hope you have peace in your day, and I thank you for practicing yoga with me, even if we were at distance, and we'll continue to practice. Namaste.